But yo, what is up, guys? So we're here to showcase off a 2020 Reversal Quiz FTK deck in action. I got a lot of different replays for you guys, and this deck can play around some hand traps. It depends on which one and when they activate it, but for the most part, the more important thing is you can pull off a Reversal Quiz FTK at a very consistent rate too. What you're going to be able to utilize, and what makes this a 2020 build, is we do need to actually lower our life points, and there's a new card that actually allows us to do that, and it won't be coming out until next year here in the TCG, that's for sure. I don't even know where where's still Needle Fiber, man. You'll drop a like on this video if you'd like to see Needle Fiber come out before the end of time. But anyways, basically what we're going to try to do is lower life points. Destrudo does that very easy. So what Reversal Quiz is all about is lowering your own life points, then you swap your life points with your opponent. But here's this card. This is the important card that lets you go off with the plays, because you need to lower your life points to the point where it's under 700, and this is going to allow you to go ahead and pull off a Fuma Shuriken, which is supposed to be for ninjas, but you don't even need a ninja, and it's going to go and do some damage when it goes ahead and goes to the graveyard. But we got a bunch of different replays, and I want to show you guys a variety of duels here. And if you guys think, oh, you need to open up card destruction, no, don't worry. I got a lot of different plays here, and we will see someone try to disrupt the plays here. But shout outs to my homie Kimono Joe for actually building this. I've seen a lot of variants of Dark Worlds where they do play with the beginning of end. Well, Dark World Dangerous, like you can do a lot of cheesy shenanigans simply due to they did not limit Saryuja. And if it doesn't get hit, I feel like there's going to be a lot more cheese that comes out. There's a new FTK with spellcasters as well, with the spell counters, which I will showcase off. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see another FTK or more FTKs, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and you'll definitely see a lot more. But my homie Kimono Joe, for the guy that sent this in, he calls it the Fuma Shuriha FTK, and he said that it was really consistent. And I go, I believe you. I mean, I've played variants of this. Like, basically, you can win without actually pulling off the FTK. If you can Cyber Sign and bust out, like, the Naturia Exterior, then you can reset and remove the zone, and then go into another Saryuja and set up to go for, like, Warrior from Another Planet. Like, your opponent can't summon, they can't use spells, they can't use spells, traps, they can't summon. Your opponent will just GG at that point, but tactically, you have to give your opponent a turn. It's basically an FTK too at the end of the day. But I also want to mention that we have number 60, the Duels of Forgotten Time, which also is a pretty important card here. But what it does is you detach 2 and then skip your draw phase, and then you could draw 2 cards, and then you discard a card. So it basically works for the whole entire engine over here. But this deck is pretty strong, and if you like FTK decks, I can't remember the last time we got a more recent one. Technically, there's an Exodia, there's technically an Exodia one too, which I already recorded footage of it, but we have to show that off. But it's one of these. I don't remember the exact number of the replay that someone does disrupt me. Okay, it's definitely not this one because the guy has no hand trap. But I want to say that you guys pretty much get the idea of it, but I just want to show off, like, two or three more, because I know the last two did happen to have card destruction, but I wanted to show off that you didn't have to have it. So let's go ahead and rotate over to the other side. The guy goes ahead and makes double red resonator pass. What is that guy doing not setting this? I don't know, but what the heck is he even playing? Okay, but more importantly, we're going to be playing around one of the hand traps. So he's going to stop Foolish Burrow, which would probably have been I mean, it could have been Mally. Oh, I'm going to show one of the replays that even opens up double Mally. So you can open up semi-optimal, because you can Saryuja and reset some of the dead cards anyways, but on top of that, you guys are seeing against one hand trap. Technically, you could have playing 2, which could have disrupted one of his plays, in addition to the Ash Blossom. So I would say overall, depending on, again, what your opponent is playing and when they activate their hand traps, you could play potentially around 2 hand traps. 3, I don't think so. I think that's too much for this deck. So at that point, you would just kind of lose out. But he's going to go ahead, once again, Saryuja 500 times, because you can actually reset and do Saryuja more than 3 times, because they decided Saryuja needs to be at 4. I'm sorry, 3, you know, play 4 copies of Saryuja. That's the secret to playing this deck. But I honestly feel like it's because they recently reprinted a bunch of the stuff. They're like, yeah, if we go ahead and hit it on this, maybe people won't buy Dual Devastator, so we'll go ahead and keep it at 3. And we'll hit it next time, boys. But again, the important card that I did want to show off, which you guys did see previously, and it was the first or second one, is the Predaplant card, because it does not only give you instant fusion target, it lets you kind of take an opponent's monster, which in this duel we did we did eventually go for it. I did go back. I think you I guess remember all the extra stuff too. So 1,000 extra straight. Basically, you can snatch steal and kind of get around one more potential card. But the Predaplant Link Fusion card is actually very important simply because it lowers your life points, which is what's required, and that's why it's going to be a little bit more consistent over here. I think this is this the double man? All right, let's do this is the last play over here, and this is again showing that you can open up suboptimal here because opening with double Mally is obviously pretty bad, but there will be a lot of people playing Mally. And another thing you can do if you want to is just Saryuja, if you still happen to have the right cards. You Saryuja and then you reset the Mally. That way you special summon the deck, just hope that you don't draw it later down the line. But yeah, we'll go into hop right into the deck profile for the 2020 Reversal Quiz. And I feel like if you really want to troll your opponent, Reversal Quiz is always the best way. Because it's funny because you lower your life points, then you have to swap them, and then you have to do the burn damage, which is always the most troll thing to do. And because technically you can heal in this deck, I mean, it's probably not going to be happening, honestly. Because you're giving your opponent an extra 1,000 life points, then you swap the life points, right? Maybe you can survive one turn, and if you really wanted to troll them, you could technically run Sparks. You'd have to technically top deck it, but what you do with Reversal Quiz, for those of you guys that don't know, I know we're kind of far into this video, but you send all cards from your hand on your side of the field to the graveyard, and you call it Monster, Spell, or Trap, and you take the top card, and it happens to be the one you swap your opponent's life points. And how we're actually getting the burn damage here is from a Shuriken. So when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you burn your opponent for 700 points of damage. But now that you guys have seen it, and I know some of you guys want the deck profile, you want to do the trolling, let's go ahead and hop right into it. The deck is relatively self-explanatory. In fact, there's a lot of different variants of Dangers and the Dark World. Basically, it's the whole set of core cards, and the exception would be these 3 cards. You can basically play this deck 100% fine and not have to really deal with... technically, you can run one Instant Fusion too. Most of the things you only really need to go through once, because Instant Fusion is you can only activate 1 Instant Fusion per turn. I'm actually not sure. Can someone comment down below in the comment section below what would happen if you Instant Fusion when you actually already use Verde Anaconda? Because I'm not sure if that actually could still work though, but someone let me know. But anyways, you can do a lot of different variants of FTKs, but you play like Warrior from Another Planet. You basically throw one of the fusions in one zone, and then you exterior, and then you go Warrior from Another Lost Planet, and then your opponent does not Yu-Gi-Oh. Anyways, let's get hop into deck profiles. So we got Danger Bigfoot at double. We got double copies of Thunderbird, double copies of Nessie, 1 copy of Destrudo, 3 copies of Mallet, 1 copy of Stroppies, just literally just for that draw power. And then we got 2 copies of Mothman, 3 copies of Chupacabra, 1 copy of the Armageddon Knight, 1 copy of Phantom Skyblaster. I'm not sure if we saw it in every single one of the gameplays except for 1, but this card just makes it so much better. You literally summon this card, you get a bunch of tokens, and then it makes summoning easier. This would be one of the cards I would say if you get negated that would basically help you come out of like a -1 or 2. And then we have 3 copies of Brow, again, just another draw card. Then we have the Danger Snake Boy, and we got 2 copies of the Jackalope, and then 1 copy of Cyber Sign. Another card where like you could, depending on what situation, you technically have to have this plus another card to lower your life points, but this card lowers it by 5,000, so it becomes a lot easier to get off the FTK. And then we have Plague Spreader Zombie. Then we got 2 copies technically of Instant Fusion. Then we got 1 copy of Fuma Shuriken because this is your FTK. And then we got 1 copy of Upstart, 3 copies of Beginning, and 1 copy of Dark World Dealings, 1 copy of Foolish here, 1 Reborn, 1 Living Fossil, 1 Reversal Quiz, 1 Psychic Blade. Again, that's just basically cards that pay life points. If there's any other cards that do pay life points that you guys think that could be added to Fumu's Joe's variant of the Reversal Quiz, let me know down below. But anyways, as far as the extra deck, we've got Winda, Dark Flare, come on Wizard. The reason why you do want these, just as a heads up, is because you actually do want to go ahead and go into number 60. Alternatively, there is another option that you can kind of go for your plays. If you decided to play Link Karibo, you can actually go Link Karibo, but first off, what you want to do to prevent hand traps from being activated is you just go for if I can spell it. Wait, let me just type eyes, because I can't. Is it not? Is it space? Okay, it's space. So if you run this card, you just Instant Fusion right into this, and then you go off with your plays, and then you make Saryuja after. Sometimes you can kind of prevent your opponent from utilizing a hand trap early on because they really want to stop like whatever you're going off for your plays. They'll just be like, all right, we'll just utilize this one now. And then sometimes you might even see them utilize maybe an impermanence to follow up, and then that way you get 2 for 1. It's kind of nice. So I just wanted to mention that as a heads up for the extra deck. But 1,000 extra strict, you got 2 copies. I honestly would drop this down. I would do 1/1. I think that's overall a pretty good optimal play, and I'm basically just try to go for this to stop maybe 1. And again, sometimes you can actually make your opponent use 2 hand traps on this card. Well, it's basically this and then impermanence, but sometimes people will like do something and then they'll activate another card to stop this. But then we got number 60, and then that goes to Emerald. This card is actually really important, so you need to reset your Saryujas. And then we've got Underworld, well, 3 copies of Saryuja Underworld, and then of course the Verde Andicond, and then we've got the Link Spider as our last 2. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile of the Reversal Quiz FTK in 2020, because we just need, this is the only card we need. Technically, there were duels where we had it without it, but I feel like it makes it so much easier. It's literally 2 effect monsters to make this card, and you instantly are able to go straight into the ability to just pay 2,000, and you get the additional monster for free. So it really does help out the consistency of this deck. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on that bell if you'd like to see more Yu-Gi-Oh content. And thanks again for Yugioh for sending in the profile. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good one, and peace.